Hello friends, welcome to this new video. So in this video we are going to solve an assignment which was given in the interview round for UpGRAD. Okay, so basically the position was of process developer. So for this particular position, one Excel assignment was given. So today we are going to solve the same questions. Okay, so first let us see what type of data they have given. So there are certain tabs for 4 months: March, April, May, and June. So for March they have given date, category, subcategory, and unit sold. Similarly for April, same date, category, subcategory, unit sold. For May, date, category, subcategory, unit sold. For June, same thing is given. Okay, so after that they have given one tab and they have given two tables. So basically for finding out the cost for that particular month we have to use these two tables. So if the month is March, then base cost per unit sold will be 8. Similarly for April it will be 10, May 5, and June 12. But based on category we have to use multiplier factor as well. For if the category is A, then multiplier factor will be 1. If category is B, then multiplier factor will be 2. Similarly for C3, D4, and E5. Okay, then similarly for revenue they have given same two tables. If the dates are even, then multiplier factor is different. Okay, and based on based on month as well, revenue per unit sold is different. Okay, so we have to use these two tables for calculating revenue per unit sold. Okay, then there is one campaign, so we will discuss this later, and let us see what type of questions are there. So basically the first question is, what is the monthly revenue per category? Okay, so for each and every month, for each and every category we have to find out monthly revenue. Then what are the monthly units sold per category? Then what is the revenue per unit sold per month per category? Okay, then we have to fill the following table for the month with the highest revenue. Great. Then we have to fill the table for the category with the highest unit sold. Okay, then the sixth question is, what is the monthly cost per category? Seventh question is, what is the cost per unit sold per month per category? Then eighth, which is the most profitable category, we have to find out. Okay, so let's do one by one. So basically first we will calculate cost for each and every month. Okay, so for finding out the cost, what we will do, we will add one column. Okay, first we have to decide multiplier factor actually. Okay, okay, now what will be the multiplier factor? Okay, what will be the multiplier factor? Basically it is based on category. So if the category is A, then the multiplier factor will be 1. See here, it is given in cost table, you can see. Okay, if category A for 1, for category B it is 2, for C 3, D4, and E5. Okay, so we can use if else statement. Okay, so I'll type if else. Okay, so what is the condition 1? The condition 1 is if this particular cell is equals to A. Okay, then if it is true, then value will be, for A it is 1. Okay, similarly same condition, if this particular cell is equals to B, then multiplier factor will be 2. Multiplier factor will be 3. For D it is 4. And last one, if this particular cell is equals to E, then multiplier factor will be 5. So let's hit enter. So see, this is E, so multiplier factor is 5, so it is correct, right? We can see for A it is 1, B2, C3, D4, and E5. Okay, so we have multiplier factor with us. Now the next thing is we have to find out the cost. Okay, so basically we'll add one more column here, cost. Okay, so basically what will be the cost? The cost will be total units sold multiplied by multiplier factor multiplied by, for that particular month they have given based, so for March it is 8. Okay, so we'll multiply it by 8. So we got cost. Okay, similarly for April, we'll just copy the formulas. Okay, but for April, the base cost is 10. So instead of 8, it will be 10, right? Because see, yeah, for May it is 5 and for June it is 12. So I'll add one column. May it is 5 and for June it is 12. Similarly, we will do autofill for this 3 month. Okay, so we got cost for each and every month. Okay, so the next thing is we have to find out revenue. Now for finding out revenue for each and every month, the main important thing is this one, multiplier factor. So it is based on even and odd date, okay, as well as revenue per unit sold. Okay, so we'll apply some conditions here. So same if else condition we will apply for finding out the revenue. First, let us understand what is given for finding out the revenue. So basically, the multiplier factors are given. If the unit solds are less than 199 and if the date is even, then we have to use 2.1. Okay, if dates are odd, then for the same condition we have to use 1.9. Similarly, if the day like unit solds are in between 200 to 399 and dates are even, then 1.3. If dates are odd, 2.5. So what I did, I have typed the formula. I'll just show you. Basically for the month of March, okay, for finding out the multiplier factor, I have used if condition. Okay, so it is saying that if E3 means units sold are less than 199 and if date is even, then we will use 2.1, otherwise 1.9. If that particular E3 is less than 399 and date is even, then 1.3, 2.5, right? Similarly, based on the condition, I have used if statement. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just autofill this particular column so that it will be easy. Okay, so this is for March. If you need the formula, I'll give in the description box, so just comment below. So same for April, same for May, and same for June. Okay, so you can use this particular sheet for practice as well for your own. Okay, so this thing is done. So we have calculated cost, we have calculated revenue. Now only the answers are remaining. So for that we will create some pivot. Okay, so before creating the pivot, okay, what we will do, we will create one consolidated data. Okay, okay, so we will create one more tab here for pivot. Okay, so basically what is the first question? If you observe carefully, the first question is what is monthly revenue per category? Okay, what is monthly revenue per category? So what we will do, basically for March, okay, we have revenue here. So we will create one pivot. We'll go to insert, click on pivot table. Data range, we'll select it as this complete existing sheet, answer pivot. We'll use this particular cell for first question. Okay, so basically what is the question? We have to find out monthly revenue per category. Okay, so see, basically first in the rows we will add month. Okay, so if you go on this one, so we can delete this particular row actually. Okay, so we will add categories in rows. We will add one more filter in category. We will remove blank. Okay, so basically 5 categories are there: A, B, C, D, E. So as this is for March, right? So in values we will add revenue for each and every category. Okay, so this will be the answer for March month. What I'll do, I'll select this and I'll drag it like this. So I'll merge here and I'll type March. Okay, similarly we have to create pivot for April. So I'll just copy this, I'll paste it. Okay, copy. This is for April, this is for May, and this is for June. I'll just change the name of month. Okay, and one more thing which I need to do is I'll delete this particular row. Okay, and I'll just go to this particular thing. So instead of March, what I'll do, I'll type April. Similarly, for this one, May, and for this one, June. Okay, so these are the final answers. So I'll just copy the answers. I'll create one like duplicate of this particular tab and I'll rename it as solutions. Okay, so basically see, for March we have this much revenue. Similarly for April we can copy the revenue. For May the revenue will be this one, and for June the revenue will be this one. Okay, this is done. Now the next thing which we have to do is we have to solve the next question. The next question is this one. The question is, what are the monthly units sold per category? Same thing. Okay, so instead of revenue we need units sold. So again, what I'll do, this is for question number 1, right? So I'll just merge it and I'll type question 1. Okay, now we are solving the second question. So I'll just copy the 5 pivot and I'll paste it here. Okay, so this is for question number 2. Now we have to find out total number of units sold per category per month. Okay, so now instead of this particular revenue value we need units sold. Same I'll do for May and for June as well. Okay, so basically we'll just copy the answers from here. Okay, I'll just copy this values. So the answer for the second question will be this one. For April I have pasted, sorry, for March I have pasted, this will be for April. This will be for May. And this will be for June. Now, what is the third question? The third question is, what is revenue per unit sold per month per category? Okay, what is the revenue per unit sold, okay, per month per category? Means for this particular question we have to divide the revenue by units sold. Okay, so for that what we can do, okay, so if you observe the third question, it is very easy. Actually the question is, what is revenue per unit sold per month per category? Okay, so basically we have revenue, we have units sold, so we have to just divide it. Okay, so for March it will be this particular number divided by units sold in March. Okay, so we can give the decimal digit, so 2 digit will be sufficient, right? So I'll do like this. Yeah, similarly for April it will be D divided by J. So we have, yeah, so you can drag it. Okay, so we have answer for the third question as well. Okay, now the fourth question is, we have to fill the following table for the month which is with the highest revenue. So for which particular month we have the highest revenue, we have to check. Okay, so basically if you observe the answer pivot for the revenue, this is the table, right? So if you compare all these things, all this revenue for each and every month, we have to check which is the highest one. So for that particular thing, what we'll do, we will type is equals to max. Okay, we will use max. So out of this particular value we have to select maximum value. Okay, so the maximum value is 136,32778. So for the month of May, okay, the revenue is highest. So we'll go to solution. So what will be the month? The month will be May. Okay, and they have told that we have to fill this particular table for May month. Okay, so for that also we can create pivot. Okay, for question number 4 I'll type. So what I'll do, I'll just copy this one, paste here, question number 4. Okay, so basically for May month only we have to create a pivot. Okay, so I'll go to this particular cell, insert pivot table. Okay, so in pivot table first we have to give the data range. So as we are creating the pivot table for May month, I'll select the data for May. Click OK, existing. Okay, so here I want to create a pivot. Okay, create. Now for this particular question, in rows we want date range, right? So rows, I'll add date. Okay, I'll add one filter and I'll remove blank. Okay, now what we will do, we will just group this particular dates. So minimum value is 1, maximum is 30, and we want in the increment of 8, right? So if you go to question 1 to 7, then 14. Okay, so basically increment should be 7. I'll just edit the group rule. Interval size will be 7. Okay, and now for this particular groups we want revenues for each and every category. Okay, so in columns we will add categories A, B, C, D, E. We don't need this one, total, and in values we will add a revenue. Okay, so this will be the answer. So I'll just copy the numbers from here. Okay, and I'll paste it here. For category E, we don't want the numbers. Okay, till D only we want the numbers. The fifth question is we have to fill the following table for the category with the highest unit sold. Okay, same question is there. So basically unit sold, we have already calculated the unit sold, means the pivots for question number 2. So we have to check which is the maximum one. So for that we will use maximum function. Out of this 4 value we have to check which is the maximum. So the maximum is for 153463. 153463 means for April, but we have to check for category actually, for which particular category the unit sold is highest. Okay, so what we will do is equals to, we'll type sum. So basically we will add this 4. So we'll get unit sold for category A, B, C, D, E and their total. Okay, so we will just apply again maximum function. Okay, and we'll check the maximum number out of this 5. The maximum number is 141576, means this one. So the maximum unit sold is for category E. So we'll type category E here, and for this particular category we need this particular data. Okay, so how can we do this? For March, for this particular category only, units sold, right? Yeah, so I have an idea actually. So for this particular thing we can create one consolidated table. Okay, so consolidated table means in that particular table we will keep all this particular data for every month. Okay, so I'll just rename this particular sheet as and I'll copy the data from March, April, May, June sheets. Okay, in this particular one single tab only. Now what I did here, basically I have created one consolidated tab and I have copied all the data from March, April, May and June subsheet. Okay, and I have pasted it here so that the creation of pivot will be very easy for this particular question. Okay, the question was this one. So for this particular category E, okay, we have to fill this particular data. So we'll create the pivot now for question number 5. I'll just copy this, I'll just paste it here. So this will be the pivot for question number 5. So for this we are using consolidated tab. Okay, so I'll go to insert pivot table. Our data will be this one. We are creating pivot here. I'll select this particular cell and okay. Okay, now in the rows we will add date. In filter, by adding date we will remove blank. Okay, again we will apply the group rule. Minimum value 1, maximum value 28, interval size we will add 7. We'll hit OK. Okay, now we want, if you observe the question carefully, in columns we want month. Okay, so I'll go to answer pivot, columns I'll add. Basically in column what I'll do, I'll add month. Okay, I'll remove the total. So we have month here, April, June. Okay, March, April, May, June. Okay, now the next thing is we want only for category E the data. Okay, so I'll add one more filter. So in this I'll select only category E. This is done. Now what is the next thing? Okay, so if you observe the question carefully, we want units sold. Okay, so in values we'll select units sold. So this will be our answer. For March, this will be the number. Okay, wait. Greater than 28 we don't want, right? So we'll select only first four numbers only. Okay, for April, this will be the number. For May, and finally for June. Great. Now five questions are done. We are moving to question number 6 and question number 7. So basically for question number 6, the question is very easy. What is the monthly cost per category? Okay, so in rows we want category, in columns we want month, and we want summation of cost, okay, for each and every month. So very simple. So what I'll do, I'll again copy this particular pivot. I'll paste it here. So this particular pivot is for question number 6. Now I'll just remove everything from this. I'll just reset this pivot. Okay, so for rows we want category, right? So I'll add one more filter for category and I'll remove blank from here. Okay, so we have A, B, C, D, E, 5 categories. Now in columns we want month, we don't want total. Okay, so March, April, May, June we have here. Okay, now we want units sold. So basically this will be our answer. Okay, so we have 5 categories. Sorry, we don't want units sold, we want cost actually. Okay, so what I'll do, instead of this unit sold, I'll add cost. So this will be our answer. So for March, these 5 values. For April, these 5 values. For May, these 5 values, and for June, these 5 value. Okay, now 6 questions are done. Now we are on the 7th question. The question is, what is the cost per unit sold per month per category? Okay, so I have already found out the cost per unit sold per month per category. So if you observe this consolidated sheet, okay, so here cost is there, so cost per unit sold. So what I did, I have divided this particular cost with unit sold. Okay, so same pivot we can use here. Okay, so in rows we want category, in columns we want month. So for question number 7, I'll use the same pivot. I'll type question number 7. If you edit, so here in the values we were having cost, right? but this time we don't want cost, we want cost per unit sold. Okay, so this will be our answer actually. For March, this will be the 5 values. For April, it's very easy, right? You have to just create the pivot and you have to extract the values. Then for May, and last one for June. Okay, now the next question, now only two questions are remaining. The eighth question is, which is the most profitable category? So which will be the most profitable category? So basically we have to check their revenue. Okay, or we can say if you subtract revenue minus cost, right, so it will be giving the profit. So we have to check profit, right? So and we have to arrange according to the ascending or descending order. So here descending order is given, so we will arrange that one. So for solving this particular question, question number 8, what I have done here, I have calculated the, I'll just calculate the max profit, sorry. So how I'll calculate the profit? So the profit will be revenue minus cost. Okay, so that will be the profit. So I'll just bring the table here. Okay, so this is the monthly profit per category. So how I have calculated? So basically monthly profit will be, so for calculating monthly profit, what we will do, we will take revenue, we'll take cost, we'll subtract. Okay, so for each and every category, for each and every month, I have calculated the difference between revenue and cost. So these are our answer for that particular thing. Okay, just copy this one and just paste it here. Okay, so we can take these numbers now for question number 8. Okay, so basically here we can create one more table. Okay, for arranging that particular thing in the descending order based on the profitability. Okay, so I'll just copy that table and I'll paste it here. So see what I have done. So basically if you observe this particular table, so this is the total profit, and based on this particular total profit and category, I have arranged that particular these two tables in descending order like this. Okay, so if you observe carefully, profit of category A is the highest. So here the answer will be category A. We'll just central align it. Yeah. Okay. So answer for this particular question will be A. Now only one question is remaining. The question is, campaign have been run to boost the sales. Okay. Campaign are already been run. So we have to find out in which month were the campaign most effective. So for finding out the month of in which the campaign were most effective, we have to find out ROI. ROI stands for rate of interest. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll just type the answer quickly so you can go through it. So this will be the answer for the last question. The answer will be, an effective campaign will always be the one that gives us the maximum output, that is income, as compared to the minimum campaign cost, better known as the return on investment, or we can say ROI. So if we calculate ROI for every month, the May month will have the greatest return on investment, which is 651.53 percentage. Okay, so that's why the answer for this particular ninth question will be May. Okay, so I hope you liked the answer. I hope you got how to create the pivot, how to find out the numbers by creating the pivot. Okay, so the basic idea in this particular assignment was whether you know to create pivot for the required data or not. So it is very easy. Just see what you want to have in rows, what you want to have in columns. Based on that, select rows, select columns, okay, and select the values, okay, and apply the appropriate filter while creating the pivot. This was the idea behind this particular assignment. Okay, so this assignment was given for the organization called as UpGRAD. okay, for the role of process developer. So these are the solution for that particular assignment. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this particular video, please do like, share and subscribe. Thank you.